Hey everybody, it's Amy from So Let's Make a Bag in Pentwater, Michigan. Welcome to September's bag tips and tricks. So we're going to go over some of the things that I'm going to be using for the Bella wallet. And the Bella wallet is right here in front of me. I'm going to be working on the red cork for the number 2. Because it's easier to see it with the navy zipper. So as we move along, everybody will be able to see really clearly where we're going and what's happening. So in your box, you got a package of by Annie's double-sided basting tape. We'll be using that for this project. And then we'll definitely be using the little stiletto, the clover stiletto that came in your extra piece. So it has like a silicone tip on the end that you can use for, it will definitely help pushing down your cork. And on the end you have like a little hooked end that has a a pointed end on it, and that will help you guide things as you're going. This is a super comfortable stiletto, and I don't have to worry about it roaming around in my little bag of goodies that I'm going to go in there and like stab myself with one of the sharper ones. So I'm really liking this one right now. So the first thing we're going to do is let me go over some of the things you'll be using for making your Bella bag. So we are just making the wallet all by itself, and that's all I've given you supplies for. But you're going to make this wallet, and you're going to want to make another one. So on the back of the pattern has all of the add-ons that you can do. So you can do like a little tassel. You can add a label. You can make it into a shoulder strap, so you can carry it kind of as a crossbody. You can also use a swivel hook and make it have the little wrist holder. So those are all things that you can add, but what we're going to do is just the wallet all by itself. So the first thing I'd like you to do is take out your pattern and then cut out all of your pattern pieces. I always recommend that you make a copy and cut out the copy so that you have an intact pattern. So when you're using it in the future, you don't have to worry about having, this one destroyed. So that's what I recommend. So I have all of mine already, cut out and ready to go. We have the 2 pieces of heavy stabilizer that you're going to be using, and those end up being the size. Well, I won't tell you sizes because I don't want to make if this ends up going anywhere. But here, I don't want to infringe on the pattern maker. So you have the 2 pieces of the firm. And then your piece that you're cutting out that will actually go on to your main piece. This is just your fusible interfacing that will go onto your main piece. So we'll put those aside. We're not using those for now. We have a zipper that's going for your interior pocket. And we have 2 zippers you'll be able to see from the exterior. So this is a little longer than that we need. So a 6-inch zipper and then an 18-inch zipper with a pull for each. So that's what we're doing for this one. So I'm going to put those aside, and then what I'm going to recommend is in the pattern she has a recommended layout. So what I'd like everybody to do is go ahead and take a look at the layout on page 6. And then I would just like you to mark it out so everything, you know where everything is going. You might have a little extra if you want to do, put a wrist strap on it in the future, or but we're just going to deal with making the wallet. Okay, So on the pieces, it'll tell you how many you need to mark on your piece. And I am going to mark it on the wrong side of my cork or your faux leather. And I'm using a Frixion erasable. You won't see it; it'll be covered up. So you don't really need to worry about the markings. You can use a Frixion, or you could use a Sharpie with the fine tip to mark these. You just want to make sure that you're being very accurate about marking all your pieces. I'm not going to cut everything out with scissors. I am going to be using my rotary cutter to make the nice crisp edges, and then we'll be cutting some things out by hand. Okay, so I'm going to mark this, and then we'll come back and take a look at what my markings look like. So I turned these differently than the pattern. So I had to adjust and put my two A pieces in a little bit different locations. So just be aware you have plenty of cork to move things around a little bit. So we have everything but the little pieces, which we'll cut out of this extra piece here or that extra piece there for the I and H pieces. All right, so we're gonna, now that we have a look at this, we see this is our C, these are our D's, and this is the Frixion, so when I put a little heat on it, it will go away. What I do is I cut this piece out and then this piece out with my rotary cutter, and then I'll deal with these pieces afterwards. So we'll cut those out and we'll see where we are. so I'm going to use my ruler to all those straight pieces so they stay nice and straight. This one, I think I'm going to use my scissors. That I think I'll do. So I'm going to straighten up my straight edge right at the bottom of that cork. So the only pieces we have left to cut are our H and I pieces. So you have lots of scraps to cut those from. So you need I don't know, I might want to take a look at that and see what looks best. So there's 3. Let's cut one more. So this one needs to be 3 inches. All right, so all of our parts and pieces are cut out. So I have some little scraps. I would definitely save this scrap. You could make something else, or it could be a part of some other project for your cork. I'm not sure I would save that one, but I'm going to save it for the moment. And so then we will talk about fusing and cutting corners. So if you got to the point where you have everything cut, you have 2 templates that you should have also cut out. One is an A template, one is a B template, and these are going to be for marking your corners. But just make sure you're marking the correct ones. So in the instructions, it has you marking your corners for a few of the pieces. So go ahead and mark your corners and cut those out. And you're just going to mark the corner and then trim just inside your mark, and that will make everything look nice. And then the next time we're going to fuse our interfacing on our larger piece, and we are going to get to working on preparing our zippers. So in the next video, we'll show you zipper preparation, and we're going to use our basting tape, and we're going to talk about zippers. So we'll talk about that in the next video. So have fun and keep sewing.